Okay, so let's just settle into our meditation posture. And Rick, I don't know if this is how you've been taught, but the most important thing is to be nicely aligned. So if you're sitting on your couch, I think if you're not in cross-legged position, have your feet flat on the floor, really try and get a sense of all the soles and the big toe mound and the little toe mound and the toe pads resting on the ground, and just really try and imagine you making contact with the earth, even though you may be 20 stories up. This is the earth that supports us as we walk around. Shoulders are aligned with the hips. You can have your hands just where they feel comfortable for this practice. And as much as you can, your ears aligned with the shoulders. So you want to be nicely aligned. So not only the blood is flowing well, and the fluids in the body, your breathing is unimpeded, but also energetically, just allows for a better flow. And imagine your spine is a string of pearls of light stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. So just imagine your spine is lengthening, getting a little bit longer. Now just very gently tip your head forward. So try not to have it drag your head out of alignment. We're just hinging from the top of the neck. And the eyes are down, and if your eyes were open, you'd be looking along the length of the nose at a spot in front of you. Tip of the tongue is on the roof of the mouth, and just relax the jaw. And just settle. Bring your mind inside. If there are any sounds in your environment, just allow those sounds to be there. Try not to follow them with the mind. And then just check what's actually going on in the mind. Just notice what's there. This mind of ours that is this river of mental moments. When you start to focus on what's going on in the mind, it might start to seem as if it's getting a little bit louder, busier, but it's just really, we're just starting to notice what's in fact there. So whatever is arising in the mind, just allow it and know that it's perfectly fine. Try not to judge or have opinions. Just take a wee step back. Can be like an objective observer, just noticing, maybe labeling. Oh, there's a happy thought. Oh, there is a sad thought. And then if you wish, you can pop your thoughts into a helium balloon and just allow them to float away. Happily let them go. We can just put ourselves on the bank of our river. Watch the river flow on by and just know that while we're sitting on the bank, we're free from the river. So bring to mind the people of your life, starting with your friends and your loved ones and your spouses and children and best friends, buddies for life. These people who we have really deep and functional relationships with, and just bring them to mind. And then there's there's folks in all of our lives who we find a wee bit difficult. And then there's our strangers, people we pass in the street every day, on the freeways, in the stores. So just bear in mind that these relationships can change place at any time, and they may have in your life. And then bring to mind also, despite how we feel about them, we think that our friends are wholly capable of reaching enlightenment, whereas the ones we don't like, there's no way. Regardless of that, everybody actually is, in fact, all the same. We have this wish, everyone, to be happy, to be comfortable, to be safe, to be free. We all wish that, and then we all wish to be free from suffering. And then we all do have this extraordinary capacity, or this Buddha nature. It's there inside. It's who we are, who we always have been. We just need to allow that to blossom. So I think we'll do this meditation this evening for the benefit of all these people of our life and for all the people that we mentioned briefly at the beginning of the practice. So remembering there is no negativity that cannot be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. Because, we create negativity with our mind. So equally, we can create positive there instead. Why not? We're the ones who are in control, by the way. We have the power to control what is going on in our mind. Just takes a bit of awareness and a bit of discipline. So we start with the power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all past lives. And think of specific actions of both your body and your speech. And then in general, regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. We experience everything due to our past actions. So having harmed others, we will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And given that we understand what suffering is, logically it would make sense to remove those karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. I also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And think again, I'm sick of this suffering. Then think, what can we do about it? Whom can we turn to? So here we rely upon the Buddha, who we see as a doctor, who has the methods that we can use to purify. So we're not looking here for a higher power. And we're not looking for something more powerful than us that is going to be able to sort of fix everything. We're going to do the work ourselves. And we're just going to use Vajrasattva's methods. So imagine Vajrasattva, this image in front of you above the crown of your head, facing the same way as you. If all the details are a little bit overwhelming, you can just imagine a ball of white light. So Vajrasattva is made of radiant, blissful white light, almost like a hologram. And you're sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. He has this beautiful radiant face. His eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crest represents the union of these two. And this symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So we have just one little section on compassion. And in order to develop compassion, this is part of refuge, we need to rely upon other beings. So the very beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us, by developing a wish for them to be free from suffering. So think particularly of someone you may have harmed recently, a sentient being maybe, not just a human being, some other insect or animal. And then maybe bring to mind someone who's harmed you, particularly for them, because the harm they've caused you, the suffering they've caused you is going to ripen for them in the future as suffering. So now we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the medicine, doing the practice of purification. So we start with the body, And imagine Vajrasattva very happily, very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around, enters your crown, and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you have ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And just imagine this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasappa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasappa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutukaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Hanarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata A Hom Pe Vajrasappa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasappa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutukaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta meboa sawa sidi mempi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hom pe vajrasappa samaya manupalaya vajrasappa dina patita didu meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawa sidi mempi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan Sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hom pe vajrasappa samaya manupalaya vajrasappa dina patita didu meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawa sidi mempi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hom pe Vajrasappa samaya manupalaya Vajrasappa dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawa sidi mempi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hom pe Vajrasappa samaya manupalaya Vajrasappa dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawa sidi mempi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan Sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe. So be delighted that all the harm you have ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. So the moment they see you, feel you, benefits their mind. So next is the purification of speech, and Vajrasattva now very happily again sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it kind of just arcs around and forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech. And this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So you can imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and useless speech and irresponsible speech and inappropriate speech and lying and talking badly about others behind their backs. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as you recite the mantra. Vajrasappa samaya manupalaya Vajrasappa dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawa sidi mempi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hom pe Vajrasappa samaya manupalaya Vajrasappa dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawa sidi mempi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hom pe Vajrasappa samaya manupalaya Vajrasappa dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawa sidi mempi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hom pe Vajrasappa samaya manupalaya Vajrasappa dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawa sidi mempi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. And Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dinapatita Dida Miboa Sutokaya Miboa Supokaya Miboa Anurakta Miboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. And Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dinapatita Dida Miboa Sutokaya Miboa Supokaya Miboa Anurakta Miboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. And Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dinapatita Dida Miboa Sutokaya Miboa Supokaya Miboa Anurakta Miboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. So I feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and just really imagine that. And imagine it's not possible to do anything but benefit others now with your speech. So the moment they hear the sound of your voice, not only does it benefit their mind, but also benefits yours, because everything that comes out of your mouth, hopefully you can hear. So next is the purification of the mind. And Vajrasattva very compassionately now sends powerful beams of light again from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it's just the same as when you walk into a pitch black room, you flick on the switch, the light instantly dispels the darkness. So again, just try that, everyone. Next time you walk into a room and it's dark, you turn on the light. Think you're dispelling darkness, not turning the light on. It's just a slightly different feel to it. So this is how it is when the light from Vajrasattva's heart touches your heart chakra. All the darkness of the negativity of your mind, so all your attachment, depression, violence, anger, bitterness, grudges, jealousy, disappointments, all of this, anxiety, absolutely, totally eradicated by this light. Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dinapatita Dida Miboa Sutokaya Miboa Supokaya Miboa Anarakta Miboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dinapatita Dida Miboa Sutokaya Miboa Supokaya Miboa Anurakta Miboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. And Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dinapatita Dida Miboa Sutokaya Miboa Supokaya Miboa Anurakta Miboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. And Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dinapatita Dida Miboa Sutokaya Miboa Supokaya Miboa Anurakta Miboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. And Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dinapatita Dida Miboa Sutokaya Miboa Supokaya Miboa Anurakta Miboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. And Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dinapatita Dida Miboa Sutokaya Miboa Supokaya Miboa Anurakta Miboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. And Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dinapatita Dida Miboa Sutokaya Miboa Supokaya Miboa Anurakta Miboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. Again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech. Just imagine these are totally purified. They're gone. And think there's no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So next, let's just purify all the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. So this is the energy that's left behind. So you can imagine that Vajrasattva sends light and nectar. It fills you completely and just eradicates all of that negative energy, even the subtlest imprints of that negative energy. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dira meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hompe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hompe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hompe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hompe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hompe. So now feel completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. So now we come to the power of resolve. And this is a really crucial step in this purification process because we're not going to get anything changed or done unless we make a decision to do it. So we just decide, I'd like to refrain from harming with my body, speech, and mind. And so just choose something that you know is harmful to yourself and others. And maybe just say, well, okay, so I'll just refrain from that thing for 30 seconds or a week or a day or overnight while I'm sleeping. And you give yourself something doable, and you will be able to achieve it. And just gradually, slowly, bit by bit, all our habits will shift and change and drop off. So it's just an aspiration, this determination, this decision we make to change and to not do things again is what gives us the strength to change. And imagine Vajrasattva is just delighted with you and wanting to merge with your mind, melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. You can think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, my spiritual mentor's body, speech, and mind, and my Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, my own mind are the same thing. So you're just kind of merging with this enlightened energy. So next, a little bit on emptiness, and imagine in emptiness is whatever level you understand emptiness. Maybe you've never heard of it before. Maybe you have. In emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So just place your mind in that emptiness for a little while, and we can think that perhaps the way things are appearing to me may not necessarily exist, that all phenomena are dependently arisings. They do not exist from their own side. A house does not exist from its own side. A car does not exist from its own side. It's made up of parts. We know that so well from anyone who's ever shopped at IKEA. It comes in a box with bits that we have to put together. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this purification practice to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripens my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And I am running a bit late, so I'm sorry, everyone. The wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. And just one prayer. Peerless teacher and assembly of children of the victorious ones, Shravakas and Pratikya Buddhas, victorious Losang fathers and son, together with the lineage masters, all the objects of refuge of the infinite lands, please bestow the virtue and goodness to accomplish his prayer here and now, holding and spreading the Muni's precious and complete teachings. Through explanation and practice, you wore the armor of patience that is never discouraged. Incomparable venerable Guru, to you I make request, while striving single-pointedly for the sake of the victorious one's teachings, the sole gateway through which all benefit and happiness emerge for mother living beings, you suddenly departed for peace. What a great loss. Nevertheless, through the undeceiving truth of the blessings of the ocean with 3 jewels and the great waves of bodhicitta of the children of the victorious ones, may the smile of a reincarnation swiftly beam in glory for the fortunate disciples. And with Rick, our teacher, Lama Zopa Rinpoche, if you didn't know him, passed away quite suddenly almost a month ago now. He went up to a place called Sum on the border of Tibet and Nepal, and it was a little bit too high for his old body, and he got altitude sickness, came down and passed away in our monastery at Kopan in Kathmandu. So that's why we say that prayer, to pray for his reincarnation to come quickly. Okay, everybody. Lots of love. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming, Rick. I hope to see you tomorrow morning. I'm going to, just by request from someone in England, I'm going to do a functional thinking mindfulness meditation. So you're very welcome to come along.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone. It's a love.
Thank you,
See you. Good night. Sweet dreams, everybody.
Thank you, Venerable.